Hello everyone and welcome to the Endlessrise VIP bi-weekly webinar series. This is Paul Steinmetz, CEO of Endlessrise. Hopefully everyone had a great week so far. If you can do me a favor and give me a shout out in chat, let me know if you can hear me okay and if you can see my screen okay. The screen that says currently on my splash message that says reseller services. All right, wonderful. Happy to have everyone on. So today we're going to be doing more of a review than anything. It's kind of a impromptu type of a webinar. What we're going to be going over is reviewing the value once again on some of the primary services. I spoke to, well, many different reseller agencies over the past several months, and one of the things that I realized is even though we have the sales collateral, what I realized is that a lot of the value points are not easily explained between the services themselves and the client, and in layman's terms on what the client is able to understand. Because even if the client reads the sales collateral, it doesn't mean that they understand the value that's told to them or that they really internalize it. And I really want to go over some of the main values on some of the primary services. So some of the main values that I'm going to be going over will be on the web design services, local buzz, and SEO services particularly. And I might have a guest on as well. Let's see if he is in yet. One moment. So if I could take a poll, how many of you have printed out the sales collateral or emailed it out to a client before, or for instance, printed it out and take it into a client sales meeting? Larry says, I printed it out. Andrea says, few time. Yes. Ron says, or John says, not yet. Yes, I have. So now for the people that are saying, yes, I have, what is your most popular way of reviewing it with a client? Is it through a verbal meeting? Is it through just email? Is it through printing it out and going over it in person? Of course, that would depend on, if you didn't print it out and go over it in person, it would be on screen sharing. Okay, most people are actually say that they print it out to go over in meeting or do screen sharing. Okay, wonderful. So for everyone that has not printed it out or gone over it with a client in a meeting, this is going to be a very good webinar for you. And for those of you that do that, which is the most popular way of handling this, this is going to be valuable for you because I'll be going over the main points that you really want to be hitting in terms of explaining the value to the client. So I'm going to be going over web design, local buzz, and SEO. Does anyone want to give a shout out on which one you want me to start with? I'll try to keep this webinar to 1 hour flat. I have a tendency to ramble as I get excited, so hopefully I don't go over an hour. Okay, polls coming in with, I'll wait a little bit. We got design, local buzz, SEO. Looks like SEO is the front runner, which is great because that's our primary service as a company. So as you know, whenever you come into services and you go to view package details. Now, if I view package details, of course, you're going to go to the SEO services. From here, yeah, we have our new advanced SEO series and the new basic as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and open up the advanced, and then I'm going to click to view the sales collateral. Now the sales collateral, when you download it in PDF version, it works a lot better. But if you wanted the sales collateral in, say, Word doc format or ODT format, you would go to the document library, right? I'm sure all of you already know that. Okay, so the sales collateral pretty much is the, oh, and thanks, Robert, for letting me know the screen is not changing. So, okay, so we've got into services, SEO services, arena. I viewed the sales collateral here. You could have downloaded it, and then these are the package details. Okay, so quick overview on the package details, which if you were going to go over the line items with a client, this is where you would go, right? Now, what you need to know, if you don't remember, about the line item details is if you are going to download this, every single line item has a comment pop-out box, right? So if you download it just like this, then it's not going to have the comments because these comments do not pop out in the PDF format. But if you wanted to show the comments on the PDF out, then you would click Show, and then when you scroll clear to the bottom, it would put the comments in a glossary. So you need to make sure that you do understand that in case you were going to print this out as well. Chad says, can we get these in Excel format? You're not able to get these in Excel format. Sandra's asking, where's the Word and .doc format of the sales collateral in the document library? You just go to the document library and look for the tab that says, I believe it's marketing materials or sales collateral. All right, so on the services line item breakdown, the majority of people, when going over the value of a particular service to display to your client, typically choose the sales collateral over going over the in-depth line item details. And I'll take a quick poll on that just to prove it to myself. So how many people in preference use the sales collateral to explain a service to the client versus the line item details? Can I get a poll on that real quick? Sales collateral. Yep. Although Michael's saying line item details. Line item details tend to overwhelm a client. The point in time when you want to produce the value of a service to a client is whenever you have a technical client, right? So if you have a technical client that knows SEO really well and they already know the value of all of the SEO, then on the more technical clients or the clients that are really looking to understand every single line item, they're grilling you on everything, you need to pull something out with extreme detail out of your back pocket and say, there's the value. Here's 50 line items with a glossary on it. Is that enough for you? That's when you pull that out. But I wouldn't pull that out on the majority of clients that you just need to sell them based on the value and the theme of what the service is all about. That's the sales collateral. Now, on the sales collateral, for instance, with SEO, of course, it leads into saying, what is SEO all about? So, yeah, majority of clients do not understand what a click-through rate is, or nor do they really understand that whenever someone comes into Google, although that it makes sense that ranking higher on the position gets you more leads. They don't know that ranking at the top of the first page will get you more clicks than ranking at the bottom of the first page. People just don't naturally process that. So the reason why we start into this is the psychology of making sure that the client understands that every single position down that they're going to not get as much traffic. Because a client doesn't understand that if they're already ranking on the bottom of the first page, they don't understand that ranking at position number 1 is necessarily going to get them more traffic. You'd be surprised. Most people think that's common sense. So page 2 is sales collateral. Whenever you're meeting with a client to position the value of SEO, one of the reasons why we talk about how many internet users there are and how many of them are using Google is not because you think they don't know these statistics. It's not because they need to know that there's 2 billion internet users worldwide. It's not because they have to know that Google has 66.8% of the search share. It's a combination of what this is trying to tell them. And what you're trying to do whenever you position first the value of SEO, you first have to let me reword that. Before you position the value of the particular SEO services that you're offering to them,